I recently saw an AI tool that tells job candidates exactly what to say in an interview in real time. It was the most surreal, inauthentic experience of my life. And that's exactly where most business owners are headed, letting the machines take the driver's seat while they just read off a script. You're about to lose your competitive edge if you don't put AI back in the passenger seat. So here's what we're covering today. I'm going to cover what I'm calling the genius stack for AI. This is like, how do you put all the pieces together? What was called Workspace Flows, and Google have decided in their wisdom to rename it, which they have a habit of doing. It's now called Workspace Studio, just to confuse everyone. Anyway, but I had a bit of a rant midway through that, and I started putting all the pieces together as I do. And I've now put this into a model, which is a bit more digestible and a bit more kind of easy to get. So I want to give you the roadmap for how you put together all these tools. NotebookLM, Flows, now Studio, Gems in Gemini. Like, how do you make these tools work together? How do you do it in what order? And how should you be thinking about enabling your team for different functions with these tools? And so this is kind of like a summary and bringing everything together that we've been exploring and experimenting with for the year. And this is like, hopefully, like the one thing for you to check out. And I think if you take this map and just took this strategy through 2026, this will give you like a pretty good idea of how you should be approaching the enablement that you need to do for your team. Many of us right now are getting used to these tools as business owners and business leaders, but we've got a whole team that we want to bring along for the journey with us. I'm hoping that this gives you a great map to do that as well. What was the promise of AI? What was the promise when these things started coming out? And the promise has been there for a while. Before we got ChatGPT, there was this promise of an AI utopia. An AI utopia, it's this beautiful, magical place where, you know, my clothes are folded and put away for me, and I don't really have to think about anything, and I'm just, you know, making money on autopilot and everything's wonderful. But then business owners and capitalists came along, and we started thinking, well, if all of this is an AI utopia, do I need people anymore? Maybe I'll just fire everyone. And so the problem with that, or the problem with, I guess, the gap between, you know, what those promises gave us was this. These are actually all of the tools that are available just in the Google ecosystem right now. So this is just Google's AI tools, and even trying to get my head around the different versions of Gemini, I start to glaze over. They made it really simple for me in Gemini now, where it says fast or thinking. That's very easy to understand. But again, today they went from 2 things to 3 things, and now I need to make another decision every time I use Gemini between, you know, different models and different ways of doing things. But, you know, we have Nano Banana for making images. We have AI coming into our consumer apps. So what was the Google Assistant is now, you know, becoming Gemini if you've got a little Google Home to talk to. And we have these Ultra plans. Well, what is Gemini Ultra? Well, you can't buy it yet in Google Workspace. They might have just released it actually, but you had to have a Gmail account for that, so you can't use your work account for that. Okay, now things are getting confusing. It's not quite as simple as the AI utopia that we thought it was, or, you know, magically we're not going to have to hire humans anymore and everything is just going to be done by the machines. So what's the reality? What's the reality? Well, what's most likely going to happen is we're all going to get upgrades. I think we've all realized that. By the end of this year, we've realized, okay, these tools are really, really great for augmenting our work. And the analogy that I've come to is that we should be in the driver's seat and we should have these AI tools in the passenger seat, rather than the AI tools in the driver's seat and us in the passenger seat. I've seen some pretty wonky stuff. We're hiring people at the moment, and there are AI tools that will join a meeting on the participant side and tell them what to say in an interview. So they listen to the question, and in real time, they will tell the candidate, what should you say to answer that question? And it's kind of like talking to ChatGPT. You're not really having a conversation with a human. You're having a conversation with someone who is reading ChatGPT-like responses back to you from the questions that you're asking. And this is a surreal experience because it's not quite a human experience. It's an experience of inauthentic relating, because I'm actually relating to a machine just through the vessel of the human on the other side reading off the script. And this is a wonderful analogy for where AI can really, really go wrong for some people. And that's why I say it's got to be in the passenger seat, and we've got to be in the driver's seat.
If you liked this video, we've got plenty more on the channel covering this topic and much, much more.